Good afternoon, guys. It's Ross, Franklin County Forge. I'm over here at Dad's, and the last time you guys saw me baling with Dad's 276, we were missing quite a few bales, and idling the tractor down, PTO speed-wise, ended up I didn't miss any bales after that. So what I've determined is it's just wear. This is the drive pinion for the twine discs. So right here is kind of one somewhat intact. Goes on this shaft right here. So in normal operating, it's like this. Okay. Then you got a worm gear that goes on here. You got a nut, and that is what actually drives your twine disc, which is this. So now you can see we've got a decent amount of wear on this here. This here should actually be flat across here and not have this taper. And I've had before where, like even on the bill hook drive, it's shaped much the same way as this is, and you get too much wear on this flat, and when you run it at full speed, it actually overshoots. So normally it would spin and then stop here, whereas with this wear, it spins and it stops here, and so that'll throw your timing off a little bit. And so you can kind of adjust that out a little bit, but only to a certain extent. Okay, so beyond that, you got to start replacing parts. Whew, I'll tell you what, it's humid, guys. Came a little bit of really light shower here, but just enough to make it super humid. I am drenched in sweat. Took my GoPro out of my truck, out of the air-conditioned cab. As soon as I brought it out, it instantly fogged up. And it stayed fogged. Like, I wiped it off, fogged right back up, wiped it off. You just had to let it kind of acclimate to the outside temperature. And as I was saying, this one here doesn't seem to have quite as much wear. This is the left, the one that was on the bale, the left one. This is the right one. This is the one off our donor, our parts thing. And you'll see that this wear right here is just about a straight shot from one side to the other. If you look at this one, it's not a straight shot. It's like it's worn to here, and then it's worn here, and those are like two different planes. And my theory is it was wearing up here, which not just here, it was wearing all the way out, but it would have been higher up here. But then as our knotter stack wore and got more play, it began to wear more on this edge at an accelerated rate than the rest of it. Okay, so that's the left one. That's the one that was still tying, so it's not too bad. This one here is the right one, and it is just, it's worn so much worse, but it's got a lot more play in it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put this one back on. I'm going to put this one in this one's place because Dad's got hay on the ground. He's got hay on the ground right now. We're going to order the new parts, and then once the new parts come in, we're going to take the whole knotter stack off, and we're going to re-shim this, because what we've got is we got too much play in between here. So it's letting this frame push away from this gear, which is causing more wear, I believe. So hopefully putting this new gear on, or old gear, will take care of the timing problems that we're having. So we're getting ready to put this back together. Dad did you dip that in some WD-40?
A whole can of it, as long as I don't drop it, I'm all right.
So Dad's gonna slide this shaft in here. Okay, we're ready for our gears on the top. All right, so we've got our washers on here. To put the washers on, you may have to actually slide this up, because it'll hit on this gear over here. So get that lined up. You just kind of take your worm gear and rotate it up there. And once you're where you want to be, you just go ahead and tighten this nut down. So this top edge is against the cam, and we want this one here, this rotated hard that way, so that the bottom of your worm gear is against this gear here. And then we'll tighten that down. So this side's done. Now we'll move over to this other side. It'll just be the same process. So whenever you go to time twine discs, you'll actually make your adjustments, and you'll want to tie a bale or cycle it through a time or two, and then you'll have to look back at your twine discs and see where they're at. I don't think we're going to cycle it because we haven't moved anything. We're just setting them right back where they were. When we get ready to start, we'll see how they do. Stacker over to Dad's. He's got his hay cut. Actually, he's had his hay cut for a little bit now. We've already baled it today. It rained on it yesterday, and it rained on it today. Neither time has been very much, but just enough to, basically like a dew. So it hasn't hurt the hay any. It's just making it take longer to do anything with it. What are we hauling? We pulling the stacker wagon?
Stacker wagon.
Yeah, the stacker wagon. Where are we going with it?
Pawpaw's?
Yeah, we're going to Pawpaw's. Headed over to Dad's. I left work a little bit early. Dad sent me a picture of him baling. So he's baled about 80 or 90 bales so far, and he hasn't missed any yet. So what we did to the knotters worked for now. We'll get some new parts ordered. But I left work early because he's going to get some rain this afternoon. I don't know when it's going to hit. I'm hoping I can get there and get the stacker and get his bales picked up before it starts raining. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes smooth. Hopefully Dad doesn't have any issues. Hopefully we can get it picked up. A lot of hopefullys. I did say a little prayer that we would get it done safely. It's easy to make little mistakes when you're trying to rush around and beat the rain, so we don't want to do anything like that, but we don't want to lollygag, just work quickly and efficiently, but not hurry. That's the goal. Hasn't rained yet. It's gonna rain any minute though. Clouds all around us. Thunderhead south. There's thunderheads north as well. It's harder to see. See how it goes here. Raining somewhere. See, I got all this here. That's one load, and I'm gonna jump in here, start picking up here, and then I'm gonna head down here. We're gonna hit the ditch, and I'm gonna pick up along the ditch here. Probably try to get that side of the ditch. Then I'll pick up this side, work our way that way. All right, load number 2. Going for load number 3. All right, Dad's gonna bring the wire to me. And this next one, I'm gonna try doing some ties and reverse ties. The next stack. This will be our last one to use the wire. I got some testing I'm gonna do later. Go ahead and hang this other wire on the back so I got it with me the whole time. So I got 2 up there. We'll set it on here. That'll be between the second and third. Between 5 and 6. That's roll number 6 going up. 10 more bales, and this load will be finished. So we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna jump right over here, actually. Because you gotta look ahead. Like this little spot here, I'll finish that out here with this load. And that'll keep me from having to jack around with that wherever I can just let it rip down the field. Alright guys, that's it. We got 2 tie tiers in there, 1 regular, 1 reverse. I'm gonna talk to Dad and see where he wants to put this stack. Alright, so the next issue with doing this, and I've only got 5, is I gotta get the rolling rack down. And so what I'm gonna do is, I've done it before, but we're gonna see if the four-wheeler has enough butt to do it. And I'm gonna tilt this up a little bit. I'm gonna have Dad pull on that, and we'll see if it'll slide down. I know it'll work. I just don't know if the four-wheeler's enough to do it. So we'll see. So Dad is headed out. There's one bale that busted. It was in a little spot, and the loader on the stacker grabbed the top of the top string and ripped it off there. And there was some loose stuff that he didn't get bailed up because the windrow was too big or whatever. But that last stack was a complete fail, that's for sure. Two issues. One, we tried the auto tie on the stacker, which I still believe is a crock of freaking crap. I don't know. The issue is they designed the stacker for a certain length of bale, which is just stupid to make in our area. Way too big for what our people want, and too big for the amount of hay you get for what people want to pay for a bale of hay, if that makes sense. So, you know, we're trying to get $7.50 a bale out of this. So far, people are willing to pay that because it's really good hay. But if I made this a 42-inch bale or a longer bale, I'd have to get more out of it because I would make less bales. And people aren't going to want to pay, you know, $8, $9, $10 or more dollars a bale. So, you know, this is what our market wants, and this is what makes sense. And they made a stacker that stacks some kind of stupid size bale. So we're gonna have to make the bale the size that we can sell. It's just all there is to it. Stack our way, stack New Holland's way. What do you think is better? The other thing is, this was a partial load, okay? And we did get the rolling rack to scoot back. However, Dad started trying it before I had started lifting it up. The problem with that is the hay didn't slide down the bed, so it was falling apart before we ever dropped it off the stack. I want to get these at least out of the way enough that Dad can get the baler in here so it doesn't get rained on. Because right now, you guys probably know, when you're freaking wore out, you're wore out and you're done. As long as the hay's in here, it don't matter. But I'm not wore out, Dad's wore out. So I'm gonna stack some of this stuff up. Just get it up here at least enough out of the way that he can get the baler in here good and get it in the dry before this rain comes. So, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and stack some. So we'll do that and see how it looks. All done. Dad is backing the baler in. I gotta grab another pallet here and then I'll finish stacking that little bit that fell over. And that'll be it. We're at around 260 bales. Woo-wee. Perfect. We got it done, guys. We got it done. We ended up having 262 bales off of that 8 acres. Second cutting. First cutting, we had 330 something, 338 or 3. So we had 270. Yeah, we had like 333 or 335, just say, on first cutting. So we only had about 70 bales less on the second cutting than we did the first cutting. That's pretty good. Less than 10 bales per acre decline between first and second.